Why is it so challenging to slow down and breathe and be relaxed when we're eating? Because this is one of the main reasons why we overeat. Because we never actually eat in the first place. We often consume in such a hurried way that we actually don't really experience the taste or the real sensation of eating. So what is going on here? And you'll know that if you've tried to slow down or stop when you want or not even start when you want, how incredibly powerful is the pull of the mind and the senses. And in a way, that pull is so strong because it's as if we're resisting death. The body somehow interprets that we're running from death. Our heart rate is increased, our breathing becomes slow, our brain is producing adrenaline and cortisol. So really the body we're eating as if we're in a state of panic, which is nothing to do with actually eating because something is going to take away the food. That fear of death is more to do with the mind than the physical reality. And the death that the mind fears the most is actually ironic because it fears silence and stillness and peace. Because to a busy mind, to a panicked mind, those sweet, gentle, quiet feelings feel like death. And we've talked about how the matrix or the physical world or even food itself, it really contains no life in a sense of no spirit. And so when we're rushing to consume it, we're actually looking for an experience from something that's empty. But we create an experience of panic, excitement, nervousness, anxiety. It's strange because we're actually, we talk about comfort eating, but actually there's no comfort in that way that we comfort eat because we rush. We feel not really at peace. And so just like this analogy that we have of being in a PlayStation and the difference between actually sitting in the comfort of your armchair and being the player, and then the game itself, where you have an avatar and action and drama. And there's an awareness that you are not that avatar in the game. You're aware of the existence of your real self in the chair. And so in the same way, while we're eating, we are going to be pulled into the senses and rush sometimes. For many of us, this is a very deep habit, an unconscious habit. And so it's good if we can practice, even a few times while we're eating, just to put the fork down and just to take a deep breath and just come back to the awareness of you, the silent, peaceful, content, sweet, satisfied being that you are inside deeply. And the more we do it, it becomes easier to tune into these feelings inside. And then with these feelings of being relaxed, we can take the next mouthful. And when we're in a relaxed state, what we notice is that that mouthful is actually experienced. Whereas before, when we rushed, all we really experienced was the rush, not the taste. And that's why we often need more and more, because we're missing it. In fact, our brains are designed to experience the pleasure of food because it's something that is designed to tell us that we've had enough. And so when we eat slowly and actually take real pleasure from the food, then we're able to stop. We feel full. It's really a beautiful irony that the reason we often eat too much is because we never eat in the first place. And so by actually tuning into the inner being, we actually get to enjoy the senses, but in a different way to when we try to engulf the senses, get lost in the senses, and to drown the mind and sensation because we're running away from the self. We've forgotten how the self feels, and we translate it as if it's death. It is death. It's death to the ego. It's death to that fear that keeps us running and running to something to distract us and away from something that's disturbing us. And so let every meal become part of your meditation practice. To stop, take a breath, go inside, and tune in with the quietness within. And then to begin to eat again. Om Shanti.